whole notion of state making and state building is rooted in modernity. It's rooted in 18th and 19th century projects, very much projects that were driven by economic rationales, very much notions of unifying very diverse regions into one nation state. Now we're going to move on to the second speaker, who is Nasser Baladei, representative of the Baluchistan People's Party. Baluchistan is an area spreading over the states of Iran, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. And it was divided during a strategic conflict between the British and the Russian Empire in the 19th century, known as the Great Game. Here, the lecture will address the Baluch people's stateless state of being divided across different states, very much the same as the story of the Kurds.
We have been historically also people that have been living together for the past, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, because we still have the similar language, and sometimes they claim that we are part of the Kurds, but I would say to them, sometimes I have some really good friends among the Kurds. I know the most Kurdish leaders. I met all of them, from the PKK to the Iranian Kurds, and to the Syrian Kurds. Unfortunately, I haven't met so much. But sometimes they would claim that we Baluch are Kurds, and I would say that we have developed. It's evolution, so people change. The world is changing, and we are seeing in the Middle East also what's happening. And what you see here in Baluchistan, and I would like to thank the artists that have done it. At least there is no line inside Baluchistan. Otherwise, everybody knows these days here about this Sykes-Picot line, which is in the Middle East. And Doran line, also people speak about it, which is divide Pakistan and Afghanistan, which Afghanistan still not yet have recognized this line. Our line between Baluchistan is called Goldsmith line. And Goldsmith was a British officer in Baluchistan who, because Baluchistan at the time when the British wanted to go to Afghanistan and make sure that Russia does not come to the sea. And you can see the sea is here in Baluchistan, Gulf of Oman, which we call it Gulf of Baluchistan. Of course, Iran changed it to Gulf of Oman, and Arab call it Gulf of Arab. To us, it is the Gulf of, or Sea of Makran or Baluchistan. It's interchangeably, we use the word Baluchistan or Makran, because previously that region was called Makran. The problem that we had with the British at the time, it was that we didn't want the British to come to Baluchistan to go to Afghanistan. But British had some other things in mind. They were just merely asking Baluchistan to go from Baluchistan to Afghanistan. So their mind was that the Russia, because Peter the Great in his script, or I don't know, somehow you have said that Russia should expand to the warm water. And for the warm water, they meant coming to Central Asia because it's landlocked, you have to come to Baluchistan. So the British thought, well, this is the best time to go and occupy Baluchistan before the Russians come. They took some part of Baluchistan and called it British Baluchistan, and one part they still remained Baluchistan, and later Iran also, at the time the Qajar dynasty thought, well, it's the best time to go and take part of Baluchistan. So they came and took western part of Baluchistan, which I come from, which is now called Iranian Baluchistan. The history for us is the same. When the British left the area after they lost India, Baluchistan was never part of India also. At the time, if you go to the map from 19th century, 17th century, you almost see the same map for Baluchistan. Between Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, Baluchistan exists there as a country. The last part was remained until 1947, when the British left that area. They thought Baluch cannot defend themselves against the Russia. And Baluch nationalism at the time also was very much influenced by the Marxist ideas. There were leaders at the time who were fighting. They were also pro-communist somehow, and the British thought it's not time for them to be independent. So they helped Pakistan to occupy part of Baluchistan, because Pakistan would not have been viable. It's hard geopolitical against India, because they wanted India also to have some problem with Pakistan, Kashmir, and the conflict and something like this, because some kind of conflict should remain when the imperialists leave the area, because the always talk is that you cannot handle yourself. It is the same thing that they use against women. We're talking here about the woman situation. We hear that the women cannot manage themselves by the man. And this is the same thing that we, as the national minorities or the people in minority, face, and they would say to us also, you cannot manage your life also. So when the British left that area. They created also, they helped Pakistan occupy Balochistan. At the time also, there was a guerrilla movement in Balochistan, which is still going on in many ways. And since many times Baloch also in Pakistani side of Balochistan have tried to get their autonomy within Pakistan. And they have managed through the armed struggle, through democratic means. Whenever there has been democratic process in Pakistan, Baloch has eagerly participated in democratic process. But the problem has been in Pakistan because the coup d'etat and the influence of, again, the vision of imperialism that has been in that region because of the Soviet occupation of Afghanistan and again another coup d'etat, the Baloch have lost their autonomous region in Baloch area also when the army has come. That's why now in Balochistan, in the section that is in Pakistan, the armed struggle, there is a resistance movement for independence, and there is also a popular movement for independence. The resistance movements see that in Pakistan it's not possible to negotiate with Pakistani government any kind of settlement, be it independent, be a negotiable kind of federation or confederation in Pakistan. So they want Pakistan just simply leave Balochistan without any kind of negotiation. But another part of the Baloch political organizations, they are for a popular resistance movement, for a popular kind of negotiation with Pakistan, to make sure that Baloch get their right within Pakistan or as an independent Balochistan with self-determination. And there they want to involve international community, which until yet has not shown great interest in the situation in Balochistan. In Balochistan, human rights violation is actually, people maybe hear about disappearance in Argentina during the junta's government there. But in Balochistan is much larger, enforced disappearance. Every day, there are women, there are men, there are young men from the student, teachers, doctors, journalists are being disappeared. And after a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 2 years, their body somewhere appears. And it's sign of torture and sign of severe kind of torture is always in their face. And in their body, and sometimes it's very difficult to recognize the body. They have to use the DNA, if they have the DNA from some other relatives, to find it and say who the person was that they have found. This is daily happening in Balochistan. The Iranian government is trying, between Balochistan, to build a wall also, so that Baloch cannot communicate with each other. Because this region has been, as you can see, because of the sea and because of its centrality with the Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and also Africa, it has been trade route for many centuries between people. We have Baloch diaspora living in Africa, in Tanzania, in Zanzibar, and we have it also in Central Asia to Tajikistan, to Turkmenistan. There has been a trade route. People have been trading all the way from the Africa to the Arabian Peninsula and towards Central Asia. Now the Iranian government is trying even the minimum contact that exists between Baloch in that region to build a wall.